So the recent history, like I said, is very sad. Until 1970, we had yes, kind of peaceful, especially in the town, but the turmoil already in the province. And on 1970, there was a coup to depart the Prince Sihanouk, then Prince Sihanouk at that time. And from 70 to 75, we have 5 years of civil war. After 75, the Khmer Rouge took the power. Until 79, almost 2 million died out of 7 million wanted. Now we have a Khmer Rouge tribunal, but they will try maybe only 5%, maybe 4, not 5, because Mrs. Insari, it seems that the psychologist, psychiatrist said that she has Alzheimer. I don't believe very much, but still. And from 79 to 1990, we had Vietnamese occupation. And finally, we got the peace agreement ratified, signed in Paris on 23 October 1991. And UN came to Cambodia to organize the only one, the first time, free and fair election, despite that there were a lot of killing, political killing, but still it was free, it was fair, the only one. After that we had regular election, but it was not free, not fair at all. So 20 years after the peace agreement was signed, what is the situation of women in Cambodia? It's not very good. Like I said, there are a lot of discrimination against women. So that discrimination leads to many problems. Despite that the government, when we had the election of 93, the government declared that they're taking care of women, so they ratified many international human rights treaty, and they ratified CEDAW. But CEDAW was not well implemented, was not even in the official gazette. The government of Cambodia wrote the 2 times only the report on CEDAW. The first time, the government had a dialogue with the UN Committee on CEDAW on the 19 January 2006, and UN sent 34 recommendations, but we monitor the recommendation, it was not well implemented. So it's still a big problem. UN said that you should train all the judge, the prosecutor, the lawyer, and the population in general, but this was not done. So most of Cambodian people and the officials didn't even know what it is. So it's very difficult to implement it if you're not properly informed. So what we did, our group of women like Cambo Alliance of a network of 32 NGO or NGO CEDAW, a network of 70 NGOs. We lobbied the government to revise all the national law and make the amendment of that law to be conform to the spirit of the CEDAW, but it was not done yet. So all we have some law now, they set up some law. I have to say that the government pay attention because now we have a Ministry of Women Affairs. On 93 we had only Secretariat of Women Affairs. Now it's upgraded to Ministry, and the Minister of Women Affairs set up a Cambodian National Council for Women with a member from all the ministries, So it should be a think tank, should meet regularly, and that took also 5 advisors from the civil society, and myself I'm honored to be one of advisors. But sometimes they don't listen to us too much, so it's a little bit frustrating. But still, we try to do all our best. So they adopt a law on prevention of domestic violence and protection of the victim. They adopt a new law against trafficking. We have a new civil code. We have a new penal code. We have a law on the marriage and the family. But we don't have court for that. We have only own court to deal with all the issues, administration, business, family, everything. Like a doctor can do the surgery, can become a neurologist, can become cardiologist. We urge the government to set up at least family law and law for juvenile law, to deal with the issue. Recently, thanks to our friend Jamshed, to remind me, because I forgot to put in my PowerPoint, and I just asked that the government would like to silence us. The government, the opposition in Cambodia is weak, not because they didn't want to work, but there is pressure from the ruling party to weaken the opposition. So the civil society is very vocal. We used to make advocate, lobbying, we talked to the newspaper, etc. So the government recently they draft already 2 times, and we made a lot of lobbying, etc., etc., a lot of pressure from international and national level. So the government stopped 2 times. And recently, 2 years ago, the government came back with a new draft, very repressive, for international and national NGOs, not only national NGO. Example for national NGO, we have to ask the permission to the Ministry of Interior. And if the Ministry of Interior refuses our registration, we can go to the court, but knowing the status of the court, the situation of the court in Cambodia is not independent. So it's cosmetic, to allow us to go to the court. But for international NGO, they have to write an MOU with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But in the draft law, it says that if the Ministry of Foreign Affairs refuses to sign the MOU with the international NGO, they can go nowhere. So it's very scary. Finally, 2 years of work with national NGO and international NGO, and with international community, we managed to write to 35 ministries of foreign affairs in the world, including the United States. And Mrs. Hillary Clinton herself called our Prime Minister, and now he stopped, but maybe for only a few years, because we are going to have this year local election for communal council member, and next year we're going to have a national election. And Cambodia this year chair ASEAN, and also apply to become a member, non-permanent member of Security Council. So all these factors, plus maybe the pressure from many Minister of Foreign Affairs from international community, so the government now put a moratorium, stop until he say that the government said until 2014. But after the election, I think that the government will come back, and maybe we will not be registered. And if you're not registered, you become illegal entity, and you cannot work. If you work, maybe you can end up in prison. So this is our concern. So we come back to our issue. Participatory. allow women to participate in leadership, to be able to allow women to do that job, we have to think about education, because education in Cambodia for men is still a big problem. According to the statistic of the government, it says that women illiterate 40%, men only 80%. But 5-6 years ago, international NGO went to the countryside and just made a simple test, giving a newspaper, Cambodian newspaper, to many of the Cambodian women in the countryside, because 80% of Cambodians live in the rural area. Only 20% of women manage to read fluently a newspaper. So I think that 40%, maybe this is government statistics. This is a picture me with the Cambodian in the countryside. So when you come to ethnic minority and the disabled women, the illiterate rate is higher. So what we can do, the challenge is to eliminate the prejudice, because many families in the countryside, the parents said, girls, doesn't need to go to school. After 15, 16, 17 years old, we can arrange the marriage for her. She can live with her husband, rely entirely with the husband. So it's the reason why we see a lot of domestic violence, because the women are not independent economically, and so rely on the husband, and whatever the husband did to her. Some case, 20 years, women are married, and almost every day there was domestic violence, and they support that. So we saw some cases, amazing for me. We cannot push the women, victims that come to see us, to divorce or to do something. It's up to them. We only make counseling, we provide medical assistance, we have our partner who has shelter, because Vitado has no shelter. So we send to our partner, they make skill training, etc. We have another partner that can do the psychological support, because they have psychologists, and psychologists in Cambodia is a rare element in Cambodia. We don't have many. I think that we have to make the school also obligatory, compulsory. It's in the constitution, but if the parents send the girl to school or the children to school, nothing happens to the parents. And it's not free. It's free only in the constitution. But in fact, as teachers are paid with a low salary, so sometimes the teacher said, okay, the government didn't pay me, so I'm so sorry, I have also a family to go. You have to pay me. In the past, they asked every month, but now they ask every day, because sometimes every month the family cannot afford to pay. It's expensive for them. Some families have lesser than 50 cents per day for living, so they cannot afford to pay $1 per day or $0.50 per day for each child to go to school. So everybody stay home, first of all the girl, and then after boy also. So we see a lot of children in the street. There are many NGOs that are taking care of the children in the street, but there are more and more children in the street. Yes, so we also urge the government to raise the salary of the teacher, to give also scholarship to women, boarding school to women. They have some, but run by NGO, not by the government, not yet. And we like to say in our program, to educate women, we like to say, educate a woman is like educate the whole family, educate the whole society, and we can educate the whole nation. So it's worked a little bit, but not enough. Just for your information, we have 2 ministers out of 26. We have 27 women lawmakers out of 123. It's better, because on 93 we had only 7 women out of 120. So it's better. Not like 1958, when the government at that time allowed women to become candidates. There was only 1 woman candidate and 1 woman elected out of 100 men. It was my mother. And 4 years after the mandate, it was 4 years at that time, 1962, my mother managed to convince one of her former students, because my mother was teacher in the past. So 2 women on 1962, and 4 years after, 1968, 5 women, and then we had the coup on 70, so the National Assembly was dissolved. We have 24 provinces, and none of the governor is a woman. But by doing a lot of advocacy with the government, lobbying, so now Prime Minister appointed Vice Governor in all provinces. 24 provinces, but vice governor only, not much power, so we keep pushing. And we have 193 districts, and all the governors are men. So now some are women, but not enough. And now the government appointed in all districts 193 a vice governor, women. But still we want to have half women, half men, but long way to do. Commune council, we had 2 times election, 1 time in 2002, and the second time 2007, and this year we are going to have the 3rd time. So the first time we had the commune council member, this is the chief. Chief, we have only 69 out of 1,621 communes. But if you add all the members, because each commune has at least 5 members, and the biggest 11 members. So 5, 7, 9, and 11. So the total made more than 11,000, more than 11,000 members. And out of 11,000 members, now, this last election, 2007, we have more than 1,000 women. So a little bit of progress. Compared to 2002, we had only 700 women members of the Commune Council elected. So this year, we expect that more, maybe 2,000. We hope so, because we work very hard on that. Cambodia has the biggest government, maybe in the world, maybe bigger than China, more than 400. We have 10 deputy prime ministers and 1 woman, so it's not too bad. 2 ministers out of 26, 15 secretary of state out of 198, so you see the number. And 30 under state secretary out of 204, but no governor woman. But look at prosecutor, 92, only 2 women, and judge, 21 out of 185. Few doctor, medical doctor. I'm the one, the first woman medical doctor, Cambodian medical doctor, graduate. I started in Cambodia 4 years and went to France to finish my medical study. So we were 2, another Cambodian, we were 2 to be the first Cambodian woman graduate in Cambodia. I started my study on 1960. See? I'm an old person. And in the administration, you have only 20% women. If you look at the constitution of Cambodia, we have equal women and men, have same rights, same responsibility, same, everything same, but only in the constitution. But when you monitor, we are observer during the election, we can see that women came more than men to vote. And also the number of women are more than men. 52% are women are there. Compared to men, 48%. So, what is the work of Ricardo with Cambo? I would like also to thank Shirin Potsdam Trust Fund to give the funding to Cambo to do the radio talk show and teacher. We have some teachers here. So what we did is three fields. First, dialogue, direct dialogue with the power, with the government, with the Cambodian National Council for Women, because I'm one of the advisors, so it's easy to push to the community council, to the governor, vice governor, etc., etc. Direct dialogue. And the second one, our grassroots action. Through what? First, radio talk show. This is the best, the cheapest and very popular. And also public forum, and also drama, and we set up also the network, local network. We set up thousands of grassroots network to deal with women issues. I come back later. And the third field is the writing the shadow report. So we write with NGO CEDAW. So 2 years ago, I was also elected as the chairperson of NGO CEDAW, of Cambo, Ricardo. So too many things to do is the reason why I'm late for everything. So you forgive me, okay? So first, direct dialogue. Like I said, we in the National Assembly, there are 5 parties. Political party, but only 2 political parties have women member of parliament. The ruling party, 21 women, and the opposition 6, so may total 27. So they set up a women caucus. So they work together. So we used to go to meet them, talk about problems. They are very open, but the result is quite disappointing. So, but still we have a contact person. We can go, we can ask them to see us, we can talk, ask women. So it's quite pleasant to do that. I like to do that. So we urge them, because in Cambodia the system, this time the election system is proportional, not first past post. So people vote for the party, and the party set up a list. So if the party like you are in the top of the list, so you will be elected. But women are always in the middle or the bottom. So we go and say, please put the women. But the response is very, very, very sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. They said, no, women have lesser education than men. It's not true. It's true, but some men who are elected in the National Assembly are almost illiterate also. So why they are elected? Why not women? At least women, I'm sure that if women are elected, they will certainly make the effort to go back to school, etc., etc. And they are so quite well at home, so they can do that, especially for commune council. But they always said the same, women need more education, women are not very open-minded, etc., etc., all the bad attitude. So we said, all right, so if you don't want to put women in the top, do that intercalate, means that zipper method, it means that one man, one woman, one man, one woman. So if you have 2 elected, you have 1 man, 1 woman. 3, okay, 2 men, 1 woman, 4, 2, 2. Even that they don't want to do. So I try to work more.